So we studied about ER diagram, the basic notations used in ER diagram, that is entity set, how to represent entity set, relationship set, weak entity set, like that, identifying entity, identifying relationship, like that. The next point we have to study is some extended features which are available, which can be notated in an ER diagram. So mainly we are going to study about 5 different extended features. The first one is called specialization, the second one is called generalization, then comes the higher and lower level entity set, then attribute inheritance and aggregation. Okay, so if you want to study each of this concept, first point we are going to study is about specialization. Okay, in order to study this concept of specialization, we can consider one example. Suppose you consider an enterprise which is called a university, and we are taking a person from the university, and let the person has 3 different attributes available. The first one is the ID, the second one is the name, the third one is the address. So these 3 attributes will be available to each and every person who is working in a university. So first point we are going to study is specialization. What is the meaning of specialization? So first we can study what is the meaning of specialization. We know that if you take any entity set contains different entities, and there may be something or some property which may divide these entities in an entity set into different subgroups. So this subgrouping of entities based on some attribute is called specialization. So we can explain this concept with an example. So as we said, person, we took university as an enterprise, from where we took an entity set which is called a person. Person has, so far we considered 3 attributes, that is the ID, the name and the address. So if you take a particular person, the person can be either an employee or a student. Okay, so that means that we are classifying a person into 2 subcategories, subgroups. There may be some, as I said, there may be some property or an attribute which is common to each of the subgroup. For example, if you are taking the employee, we know that an employee will have a particular attribute may be present, that is called the salary, which is not available for the student. But if you are taking a student as a subgroup, they may not have a salary as an attribute, but they may have a total credit. Okay, so which are the 2 properties which differentiate these, which is only available to each of the group? If you are taking employee as a subgroup, the employee will have salary. Employee will have an attribute which is called salary. Okay, that means if you take a person that has 3 attributes which are common, if you subgroup a person as an employee, he may have a new attribute. Other than the 3 attributes, he may have a new attribute which differentiate him from other person. Okay, that is called the that property or that attribute is the salary. That subdivide, that actually it makes a grouping inside the entity set. So in our example, the first subgrouping is employee. In the same manner, the set of students, if the person is a student, all the students which comes under that subgroup will have an attribute which is called total credit. Okay, so this attribute further divides an entity set called person to a student, and this attribute, that is the salary attribute, divides a person to a subgroup which is called an employee. Okay, and this process of designating subgrouping within an entity set is called specialization. So this way, that is, first of all, we took a person from a university. So based on the certain attributes, we divided that person into either an employee or to a student. So this type of subgrouping based on some values, this process is called specialization. So if we take a person from the university, he may be either an employee or a student, or he may be both, or he may be neither. So that is the case. And again, if you are taking employee as a subcategory, so as we said, you can imagine as a hierarchy. Person is the topmost one. We divided the person into two subgroups. The first one is called the employee and the second one is called the student. So now we are taking the employee again, and we can try whether it can again be subdivided into subgroup. Yes, here we can see one example in which the employee entity set is again, that subgroup is again classified into two subsets. The first one is the instructor and the second one is the secretary. Instructor means it is the faculty, and secretary means it may be any working person or in a college or university. So what may be the attribute which is only available to instructor? He may have a rank. Okay, that is, instructor is further classified based on, described with the help of an attribute called rank. So in the same manner, secretary can also be, these entities can be classified or described with the help of an attribute which is called hours per week. Okay, so this is the way how we will perform the specialization, and we can do the specialization in a recursive manner. So here also we done in two ways. I mean, two times we have done the specialization. So we can represent, if you are just looking at this figure only, don't look at other parts. Person with the three attributes are there. ID is the primary key. So we know the representation of entity sets. So here I am representing it as different hierarchy. You can see that the different hierarchy. The topmost one is the person with the three attributes, and ID is the primary key. Then we divide it into two subgroups, the employee and student. Employee has a attribute which is additional one to employee. Already he has these three attributes, but additionally he has salary which differentiate an employee from other entities that called student. So that is the one subgroup, and other subgroup is the student, which has an attribute, special attribute, total credit. So in the same manner, we divided the employee into subgroup, instructor and secretary. Instructor has all these attributes are there, including ID, name, address and salary is there. But he has one more attribute which makes him an instructor, that is a rank, and in the case of secretary, he has the attribute hours per week. So the next one is how can you represent a specialization using ER diagram. So we know that we can say that specialization is a top-down approach, because we started from the person, then divided, again divided, etc. So it is the main point. So if there is any question regarding differentiate specialization and generalization, the first point is that specialization is a top-down approach. Okay. Then we can apply, as I said, we can apply the specialization repeatedly. And always when we when we apply this specialization repeatedly, the subgrouping, that is, again it will divide, So like a divide and conquer style, it will be divided. Further it will be divided to lower entity sets. So the lower, whenever we divide it into lower entity sets, the lower entity sets will have some attributes which can only be applied to the lower level. We cannot be applied to the higher level. That means that here the salary, if you are taking a lower level, salary is the attribute. This attribute is not available in this one person. This is only available for this sub-attribute called employee, like that. So it is actually a superclass, subclass. It is a superclass, subclass, subdivision. So this will be act as the superclass. Here, in this case, the person is a superclass. These are the subclass. Here, this one is a superclass. These are the subclass. Okay. So always we can say that. This specialization is a relationship. This is an is a relationship. That means always we can say that an employee is a person, a student is a person, an instructor is an employee, and a secretary is an employee. So we can always say that a specialization. So always we can say that a specialization is an is a relationship. Okay. That is a superclass subclass relationship. You already studied in the meaning of superclass and subclass. The same concept we can use. And next is how to represent a specialization. And normally a specialization is represented by a hollow arrow head pointing from specialized entity to other entity. So that means here employee is a specialized one. That is a particular type of person. So from that specialized one, we will draw a hollow arrow. You can see here a hollow arrow. And next is we are trying to differentiate two types of specialization. The first one is called overlapping specialization and the second one is called disjoint specialization. So as we said, there are two types of specialization are there. The first one is called overlapping specialization and the second one is called disjoint specialization. So first of all, what is the meaning of overlapping specialization? So we know the meaning of overlapping. Overlapping can be explained with one example. So as I said, suppose we are taking an employee. Okay. So we know that an employee can be, there is a chance that the employee can be a normal employee in that university, or he can also be a student. That means he is working as well as he is studying. That is also possible. So if we take any entity from this top level, he can be in both of these sub classes. So that is the meaning of overlapping. Suppose I am a person, I am an employee and I am a student. So that entity actually it overlaps. So that is called overlapping specialization. Next one is disjoint. Disjoint means that can be there in any one of the subclass. So that is called the disjoint. For example, if you are taking an employee, the employee can be either an instructor or a secretary. Either means anyone is possible. The joining is not possible. So if you take an employee, that person will be either in this group or in this group. Okay, but here in the case of employee and student, that is in the case of overlapping, if you are taking an entity, that can be in both. In the case of disjoint, if you take one entity here, that can be either in this case, in this entity set or this subgroup. So that is the meaning of overlapping and disjoint entity set. So now we can see how we will draw, which notation is used to show the specialization. So since there are two types of specializations are there, an overlapping specialization is represented by two separate hollow arrows. So here we said that employee and student are overlapping specialization. So we will draw two separate arrowhead from these subset, from these subgroup to the main group. Okay, and if it is a disjoint one, we will draw like this. That is, there will be only one hollow arrow pointing towards the this employee. So based on this example, I am explaining. So that is the difference between how to represent an overlapping specialization and disjoint specialization. Okay, so this is about the specialization, which is one of the extended EF feature. So we said a specialization is a top-down approach. So always it will try to subgroup an entity set based on certain property. That is, there may be existing in any way. So as with the help of an example, we explain the concept. There will be at least one property or an attribute which differentiate. Then we explained about how we can apply the specialization. We can apply it recursively or repeatedly, and we studied in ER diagram a hollow arrow pointing from the specialized one towards the other entity. That diagram, that notation is used for representing the specialization. There are two. It's a superclass subclass relationship, and as we can say, a specialization as is a relationship. That means we will start from bottom. Employee is a person, student is a person, like that. The next is about the based on the type, we can the hollow arrow will be in different style. That is in the case of that is two types of specialization are disjoint and overlapping one. In the case of overlapping one, if you take an entity set, that may be appear in both subset. And in the case of overlapping disjoint one, if you take an entity, that will be in any one of the subset. Okay, overlapping specialization is normally denoted by two separate arrowhead. Disjoint is overlapping is done by two separate arrowhead. Disjoint is done by a single arrowhead to the top level entities.